Ladies, have you ever found yourself in this dilemma when you're traveling where you want to be super cute and chic, but yet you also want to be comfortable and not frumpy, and you want to breeze through security without having to take off a million layers of clothing? Today, I'm going to teach you the exact outfit formula that I swear by when I'm traveling. I'm going to teach you what not to wear to the airport and what you should be wearing instead. Make sure you stay tuned in to the very end because I have some bonus tips on some essentials that you need for your travels that will make you feel a lot more comfortable, luxurious, and it'll make your trip much more efficient. So let's start from the bottom up and let's start with your shoes. You should always be wearing shoes that are comfortable and easy to get into, such as walking shoes or sneakers. And to be more specific, you should wear shoes that have a non-slip bottom because airport floors are generally very slippery. You should avoid shoes that are hard to get into. Why? Because you will literally have a hard time getting them off. You're gonna hold up the security line, you'll be sweating. It's just a mess waiting to happen. Another tip on top of that, if you're wearing sneakers, is to pre-loosen the strings, like widen up the shoe just a tad bit before you get to security so that when it's your turn to take off your shoes, you can just pop them off, place them in the bin, and keep it moving. You don't have to worry about untying them, then loosening up the string, taking them off. It's just a whole disaster waiting to happen, right? If you're prepared, everything will go smooth. You should also always be wearing a pair of socks with your sneakers, your walking shoes, or your tennis shoes because airport floors, as you know, are full of germs, and so you should never be sticking your bare feet on that floor. So ladies, that means in the summertime, no, you should not be wearing sandals to the airport. And let's build upon why you should not be wearing sandals in the airport. Whether you're on a long flight or a short flight, you should never wear sandals to the airport. First of all, it's very disgusting and nasty. When you go use the restroom, think of all of the things that are on that restroom floor that your feet could potentially touch. So you always want to stay protected and wear socks. And then what if there's an emergency evacuation? Girl, what you gonna do in those sandals? Always make sure that you have on the tennis shoes, the walking shoes, or even hard toe shoes. If you want to wear those shoes that are hard to get into, just never wear sandals because it's really like a safety situation wearing sandals, and it's actually very gross. And I know there's some ladies out there, they swear by heels and they can't go anywhere without them. But baby girl, leave your heels at home when you are traveling through the airport, when you're about to take a flight. They're just not practical, they're not comfortable, and they can also be a safety hazard because if you fall on those heels on that airport floor, honey, good luck. Also avoid shoes that are a little bit more complex that may have metal designs, metal tips, or just metal around or on them, period, because you will instantly trigger the alarm. Even if you have TSA pre-check and you go through with those shoes, you're gonna come back in, baby girl, because now you have to get thoroughly checked just because of those shoes. So let's work our way up and let's talk about pants and belts. Now, specifically, belts are on my you should not wear these to the airport list. Simply because if you have on a belt, you have to take the belt off, go through security, and then put the belt back on. That's just too much going on. It's too much of an inconvenience. Let's just alleviate the belts. Now, belts also go with pants, duh, right? Specifically, we also wear a lot of jeans on flights, but jeans are very inconvenient. They're very uncomfortable. So this is an item that I would stay away from when traveling. Jeans is definitely on my what not to wear to the airport. It's too uncomfortable and they retain moisture, and especially when the cabin air changes and there's so many temperatures going on a flight from the beginning to the end, just leave the jeans and the belt at home. Now, what you should be wearing instead is a nice pair of trousers. Now, trousers do require a belt sometimes, but you just want to make sure that they properly fit and that you absolutely don't need a belt. Trousers are perfect for going through airport security. They're super comfortable. They will not set off any alarms. You're not going to trip on your trousers, and you're going to be super comfortable during your flight. And let me go back to belts for a minute. Think about when you wear a belt, belts are to hold up your pants. So if you have to take off that belt and go through security, are you just gonna embarrass yourself by like just holding up your pants while you're going through security? Like, who wants to go through that? So again, just ditch the belt. You should also avoid pants with like too many decorations. While they may seem very like minuscule in the grand scheme of things, but things with metal on them, sequins, or like painted designs, they can really irritate your skin on long flights or even short flights, or just be very irritating. I would really stay away from those type of clothing. I know it might sound we getting a little basic, but we are making chic and we are getting there. So hold on. You should also avoid pants with multi pockets, right? And I love a good cargo pair of pants, but baby, when you get to security, you might forget that you have some loose change or a key or any type of metal in one of those pockets, because that's what we do when we have on cargo pants or situations. We like just stick things everywhere and then we forget that they're there. So when you're traveling, you might want to stay away from cargo pants or pants that have too many pockets on them where we have to dig through them and grab everything out and then put everything back in. It's just a mess. So this is something that you should absolutely not be wearing on your flight or to the airport, and I have learned this from personal experience: long flowy dresses or skirts. You know why? Specifically, they touch the toilet when you go into the bathroom, and that's great because then you have toilet juice on your dress or your skirt, and then you take it right back to your seat. So nice, so nice. It's also a safety hazard because if you have on a long flowy skirt or dress and you're getting on the escalator, it can quickly catch in between the little escalator. And you don't want to get your clothing tripped up in the escalator or even potentially ripped, because guess what? You guessed it. That definitely happened to me. I had on a beautiful long flowy dress. I thought that I was looking so summery, so perfect, going on this Caribbean vacation. And by the time I got on my plane, I had a huge rip on the side of my dress because the tip of it got caught in the escalator. So stay away from long flowy dresses or long flowy skirts because it's just an accident waiting to happen. So this is another experience that I've had firsthand of things that you should not wear, baby, at all. And I mean this one at all. And that's jumpsuits and rompers. You should never, ever wear those to the airport. Now you're probably saying, okay, at first you were talking about getting through security, but now I'm talking about just being comfortable, going to the bathroom, and sitting down, right? Okay, so when you have on a jumpsuit or a romper, think about this. You're headed to the bathroom. You got to take that baby off. You got to unzip it or take the shoulders down. Where's all that material going? Right next to the toilet, okay? Because you already know airplane bathrooms are so tight, they're so small. It's like you're the Matrix. You're doing the Matrix in there, right? And when you have on a jumpsuit or a romper and you take it down, if it goes down to the ground, it's touching that nasty floor. If it even goes down midway, it's touching the toilet. So, and it's very uncomfortable. You're very tight in that airplane, small, constricted space. So just stay away from jumpsuits or rompers. I know they're super cute, especially in the summertime, and you might be going to an island, traveling to the Caribbean, and you're like, I just want to be ready when I get there. That's not the move though. Stay away from jumpsuits and rompers. Okay, so you're probably saying, okay, she keeps saying things that we shouldn't be wearing, but what pants should we be wearing? Now, I think that you should be wearing pants that like stay with you when you move. Follow me, okay? Things like leggings, ankle pants, or trousers that are not too wide leg, that kind of like stay with you when you walk. That way it's more control. You're not restricted when you go into tight spaces, into having to be so careful of them not touching the floor or getting stuck in something. And if you wear sweatpants or joggers, make sure that they are the cuffed ones and not the ones that are like oversized and like hang over your pants and touch the floor. As you can tell, I'm a germaphobe and I hate pants touching the floor because planes are so gross and so full of germs. To stay chic and stay comfortable at the same time, you should be wearing materials that stay with you when you move. They have a nice fit, and also pants that have minimal pockets. Reduce the chances of you leaving items in there or leaving things that will be pressed against your body on a long flight or just on your flight in general as you travel. Now, all of these things work in conjunction also when you're going through security, right? Because you don't want, this is a fear of mine, this is a fear unlocked, okay? Is to have my belongings sitting at the end of the security checkpoint and I'm all the way on the other side still trying to take off a coat, take off jewelry or my shoes and all this and that and the third, because baby, a thief will grab your cell phone in a minute. in it. So you don't want your things exposed. You don't want them at the end of the checkpoint too long. You want to make sure, yes, that you are looking cute, you're looking chic, but you're also getting through there very quickly so that you can get to the end of security, grab your stuff, and go on about your business. Another tip is to opt out of bright colors, light colors, orange, whites, yellows, anything bright. For me, my travel tip for you is to just wear black. Always wear black. You know why? Black is such a universal chic color. It goes with everything. You don't have to worry about being matchy. And on top of that, you know we always spill something on ourselves on a flight, whether it's coffee, whether it's Sprite or whatever, you know, we're drinking when they bring the beverage cart around. Or for me, baby, I always have a lot of snacks. And at some point, either I waste something on myself or my daughter wastes something. It always lands on me. So black is much easier to camouflage a stain. It's much easier to clean, as opposed to if you have on light, bright colors and you waste something, you have a stain, it's gonna be super obvious, and this is gonna be there for the duration of the flight. And then when you get to your destination, if you can't change into new clothes, the stain is just there. So just opt out for all black. It's easier to clean, and it's just really easier to match other things with, so that you look chic, you look put together, and you're also comfortable on your flight. Now, while we're still talking about pants, you also want to choose pants that are going to fit after a big meal. I know that sounds crazy, right? But think about it. Oftentimes, even with myself, again, like I said before, I always have a lot of snacks, and then I also eat the snacks that the flight attendant gives me, right? So by the end of the flight, before I get to my destination, baby, I'm probably bursting out of my pants, but not really, because I always make sure that my pants are comfortable. When it comes to pants, make sure that you have on comfortable pants. Something with an elastic waist would not hurt, right? So that when you are in the air and that you're eating that salty airplane food, it will make you a little bloated sometimes. That you have an elastic waist, or your pants just have a little bit more extra room, so you will stay comfortable and you will still look cute and chic during your flight. Also, while you're at home, before you actually leave the house to go to the airport, you need to sit down, stand up, simulate movements that you're going to make at the airport, taking your carry-on, putting it overhead, just to see if your clothes are fitting properly, if your jacket is lifting up and you can see a lot of skin, or you can see your underwear over the top of your pants. Those type of small little details that you kind of forget, and then when you get to the airport or you get on your flight, and then you're like, I probably should have checked this a little bit earlier, because things are not looking the way that I thought that they would, and I'm kind of being a little bit more revealing than I want to be. So doing something as simple as bending over and touching your toes, or sitting in a chair and tying your sneakers. I cannot tell you how many times I have done that at home before I've gotten to the airport subconsciously, and then realize that, you know what, my back is exposed a little bit above my jeans. You might be able to see a little bit of my butt crack. I'm just saying. Things happen. Clothes shrink. All right, so let's move on up to the upper half of our body and talk about tops, what you should and should not be wearing. And let's specifically start with hoodies, because I know that a lot of us feel like hoodies are a travel essential. They're very comfortable, but on the other hand, they could also make us look frumpy. But I'm not counting them out just yet. But I do want to make a significant point on hoodies when you're going through security. If they feel like that hoodie, especially the ones with the zipper up the middle, if they consider that hoodie outerwear, they will make you remove it. Now, why is that important? Because sometimes, not all the time, you may not have anything on underneath that hoodie. We may consider that hoodie just our base, just our one layer, and not a base layer, but just the layer. And then you're required to take that out. We don't want to do that. So just keep in mind, if you are wearing a hoodie, that you have a base layer on underneath the hoodie. Since I did just touch on sheer tops, let's spend a few moments and give sheer tops a conversation, because I feel like that is worth talking about. I know that there are some outfits that sheer tops are appropriate. It looks good. It's very cute. But if that is something you are considering wearing to the airport on your flight, please make sure it is not overly revealing, because airport is a family-oriented place as well. You have children, or you have different religions there. You don't want to offend anybody. especially flight attendants, because if you get on a flight or you attempt to get on a flight with a top that is deemed inappropriate, guess what, y'all? You know it. That flight attendant can deny you boarding on that plane. So just make sure when you are considering wearing something sheer that it is appropriate, not too revealing. To be on the safe side in this climate and this atmosphere in this day and age, I would just avoid wearing anything deemed sheer into an airport, let alone on my flight. And since we are here talking about things that may be controversial or offending to people, like shirts that have like sayings or wording on them, we want to make sure maybe we try to leave those at home, because guess what? Again, if your shirt has something that can be deemed offensive, political, or too religious or anti-religious against a certain religion, they will deny you boarding on a flight. I know you guys have seen on TikTok people that have got denied boarding for various things that were on top of their shirt, like saying things or protesting for some type of cause that maybe, maybe the flight attendant or the pilot didn't like it and they said, bye-bye, you cannot get on this flight. So in all actuality, I really would just avoid graphic tees that have any type of wording on them that is signifying something of like a religious matter, or anything with the culture, or anything with vulgar language, or graphic tees that have any type of sketchy images that could be deemed inappropriate. I really feel like if the graphic tee is not simple and plain and to the point, and it's not deemed offensive or could be deemed offensive, just leave those graphic tees at home, okay? Unless it says Chicago or it has a state on it, or Illinois, or it's a college or something like that. Just be cautious of graphic tees so that you don't offend anyone and get kicked off that flight. Key to all of these tips is just really keeping things plain and simple, because chic can also be plain and simple. It's really just about how you carry yourself, how an outfit comes across, and how you really put things together. But the key, again, is to really keep things plain and simple. This is the bonus time where I talk about some essentials that I feel like are very, very luxurious. They make your trip a little bit more comfortable, and they're super efficient in their own right. So let's start with the first one that I feel like is a must-have for me. Like, I'm not going anywhere without this. Here's my travel goodies that I consider essential to making my experience 100% better. I will never travel without them. And first up, I have an eye mask, and it is by the brand Slip. The side of this does not put indentations on your face. It's super comfortable. It feels so luxurious. I can't go anywhere without this, right? Sometimes the people behind you have the light on because they want to read a book or whatever they're eating, and you just want to take a nap, So it doesn't matter if it's the light is on in the cabin or it's dark. Baby, these are gonna black out, okay? You're gonna go right to sleep. And I pair that with a pair of noise canceling headphones that cover my entire ear. I love it. These are by Bose. So even I'll tell you a little trick too. Even if I want to watch a movie that the airline is putting on, they give you those the little earbuds. I will put the earbuds in and then put this over them, because those are cheap. The sound is not that great. These make the sound so much better. It cancels out the background noise. It's so wonderful, y'all. So then when you finish watching your movie, if you done and you still just don't want to hear anything, put these on. Magnificent, y'all. Chef's kiss. Cannot recommend this enough. Next up, I don't have mine because they're in the washing machine, as I just came back from somewhere. Travel house shoes. Okay, so remember earlier in the video we talked about not traveling with sandals. Well, in the summertime, perhaps if I decide to wear sandals, which I probably won't, but if I do, whether I have on the travel sandals or my sneakers, 9 times out of 10, I have my travel house shoes. I put these on when I get onto the plane. It also alleviates a lot of pressure from your legs, and that feeling of just having tennis shoes or walking shoes or gym shoes on the whole flight. You just want to get comfortable. I'll take those off, put on my travel house shoes, boom, and I'm feeling like $1,000,000. And I don't feel bad, taking them into the bathroom, using the restroom. If they get, a little sticky on the ends, it doesn't matter, because I put them back in a plastic bag when my travels are done. Everything is sanitized, and I'm comfortable. So pillows matter on flights tremendously. I used to travel with the standard neck pillow that everyone has. It's like $10 on Amazon. You go on Target, whatever. But I felt like at some point I would always get a crook in my neck, like somewhere on my neck was like hurting after that pillow. So I invested in a memory foam pillow, a neck pillow from Amazon. I've had this one for years. I recommended this in a travel essential video I did years ago. This is the best thing since sliced bread. It molds around your neck to the shape of your neck. You can go either way, front, side, and even if you want to like lean forward, you can just snap it, lean forward. You can snap it together. And so what's also nice about this, while it is very comfortable, very luxurious, okay, because your girl gets a lot of Z's, okay, you can unzip the cover, take it off and wash it. It's like this jersey knit material, y'all. It is so comfortable. You can snap this around your carry-on bag. I don't think any of us like airplane restrooms. They're very tight, they're very cramped. They're very germy. I hate the toilet seats. They look disgusting. I just feel like germs are just jumping off of them. And so I always come prepared with toilet seat covers because you never know what you got to do when you're in transit to your destination, okay? You might have ate some spicy food. You got to run off to the, to the toilet, and you do not want to sit your bare butt on that toilet on the airplane. I would have to hold it 10 hours before I ever set my bare butt on a toilet seat, airplane toilet. I would probably prefer urinating on myself before I ever set my bare butts on an airplane toilet. Like literally, hundreds of people are using that toilet all day long and it's not getting clean. Trust me. They say they come and clean it in between flights. It's probably a lie. But anyway, toilet seat covers available on Amazon. They're super thin. They flush down the toilet. They are disposable. You're one and done. Your booty will thank you later and you will be germ free. Now, the Lysol wipes are self-explanatory, but I feel so much more clean and so much more comfortable when I'm able to like quickly wipe down my area. The packaging is super thin. You stick it in your purse or in your carry-on, you're good to go. These are like $2.99. Target has them, and I also have them linked from Amazon in the link below. So another luxurious item that you need for your travels are compression socks. These are from Bombas. I hope I'm saying that correctly, but if I'm not, please forgive me. Listen, when you put these on, it's like you slipped into heaven and you're gonna come right back. Super comfortable. The company Away, the brand rather, they also have compression socks. They're a little bit tighter. So I do go between Bombas and the Away compression socks, but I do find the Bombas way more comfortable. But you just figure out which ones work best for you. These are just way softer and they just make me feel like I'm sitting on my couch at home, relaxing, chilling. So I always just opt out for the Bombas. Now we have to get into something that's super serious, and we're going to talk about our carry-on bag because this is where all the snacks happen. This is the essential that will make or break a trip, and that is your carry-on bag. This one is from Away. Sorry guys, it's a little folded. I'm actually unpacking it. It can go right on top of your carry-on or your check bag, but you wouldn't be walking through the airport with your check bag. You're gonna do it with your carry-on. It has a little slit here. This is not sponsored. I'm gonna get into some details. So you can just slide it on to the back of your carry-on. If I can get it on there, okay. It doesn't want to cooperate because I'm on camera. That's what's happening, okay. Now let me pick it up so I can show you. So this is what it looks like on your carry-on. If it's nice and snug on top of your carry-on, you can be hands-free. Another aspect that's very important about this carry-on, and why I like this one, it's easy to clean from spills, just, traveling or whatever. It fits so neatly underneath the seat where you have to put your personal item. Now, for me, I'm a big snack girl. I don't care if it's a short flight or a long flight. I have to bring my snacks with me. And the inside of this bag, I still have stuff in here, y'all. It's just perfect because while you can put, like an extra outfit in here or other belongings, your cords for your phones, your laptop, you can also securely and safely put lots of snacks in here, and that's very important to keep the snacks secure on your flights. I know a travel bag may seem very minuscule, very small on the grand scale of things, but in travel it's very important to have everything that you need for boarding, including a nice compartment for your passport, for cash or credit cards. It has so many compartments. It's very lightweight and it can fit my snacks. Comfort and snacks is always a win. It makes me feel luxurious. And if you're not traveling with a carry-on with wheels that you can attach this to, you can also carry this by hand, or it has a paddable detachable shoulder strap. I have never used this because I've always put this on top of my carry-all. But anyway, this is not sponsored, but just letting you know what comes with it. I have had many carry-on bags, and this one from Away, again, it's not sponsored, has been like the most perfect one. Reference to size, durability, you're able to clean it, and how I'm able to put so many items in this bag. All of my passport, my documents, my snacks, my camera, my laptop. It is truly one of those items where I feel like, oh my God, I'll be lost without it. But anyway, I hope that you like this video, what not to wear to the airport, on your flights, on your travel, on the plane, and what to wear instead. My name is Erica J. I did not introduce myself in the beginning of this video, but on this channel, I talk about fashion, I talk about lifestyle, and a little bit of travel. I am a boutique owner located in Chicago, specifically on the South Side. So if you are interested in that type of content and you want to be a part of my community, I would love it if you go ahead and just hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, and also share this with some of your girlfriends, because these are some pretty cool tips. Make sure you stick around to watch my other videos, specifically these two coming up now. But anyway, I love you so much. Thanks for watching, and until the next video, bye. I love you.